host position in the center. We're beautifully done.
Yo guys, no bet winner, no entry.
Okay, Mr. Bet winner.
Sports fans out there, are you ready? It's a beautiful evening and welcome to tonight's game. The lady shows up and she's been denied. Oh no. But wait, she's back with Bet winner. Wait. Oh, what a beautiful pass. And it's a
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly, not for persons below 18 years, and gaming can be addictive.
Me did the young antechwa, and maybe I'm discovered for Europe. I come a bush for Ghana. No, me used to tap send. Tap send. No fee mobile money transfer. Eye easy, eye convenient, eye fast, and sounds so free. Won't you share? Me discover a map him. Tap send. Intienne, also download the tap send app no ever mobile phone so free. Na first ka komo abusuya for Ghana fa na nyina. Tap send. Papa no.
And we are back again with the most authoritative entertainment talk shows in the capital, in the country, and in the whole world. This is Sammy Flex Speaks. My name is Roland Amate, here live inside the studios of Sammy Flex TV. Big thanks to Currency, big thanks to Richie Flex for giving us huge support. Behind the scenes, we are back again. And you know, whenever we come with a bang, boom like that. Because the stories that we always discuss here is one of a kind. So if this is your first time, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to also recommend this channel to other people. The comment section is definitely for you, which is why we are always waiting for your feedback. And you know, I don't do this alone. I do this with my big man. His name is Olua Sammy Flex.
This is a name that has been accepted, certified, and verified by my friends in Nigeria. Olua Sammy Flex. Now, when they are even commenting, now they add it. Yeah, that's it. Olua Sammy Flex. I know some of them, they are pained. Some of them are pained, but still, I'm Olua Sammy Flex. Forget about them.
Yeah, Bugay.
No, forget about it. They don't know what they are saying. We know what we are saying. If they want to say something, like you keep saying, they should just drop it and say it without abusive words.
Yes.
That is what they have to know. But because we don't abuse anybody.
No.
We do what we have to do, our God-given job. That's what we do.
So let's do the work of God. On today's menu, Sarkodie is in the news. Yes, we know if Sarkodie will be mentioned in recent times, it will be in connection to the show he just did. That is Sarkodie Composers and Friends in London. But then, Sarkodie is in the news, and it is all about his feature that he did with the legendary or the iconic Bob Marley. That is the Stereotype remake or remix, as you would call it. And we know it generated lots of conversation. Some people liked it, some did not. Some people even said it is a desecration of Bob Marley's legacy. Well, one iconic member of the reggae fraternity has also commented on this particular piece, and he is in the name of Mojo Morgan, that is of the legendary Morgan Heritage Group. Sarkodie honored Bob Marley. He did not desecrate Stereotype. This is Mojo. And reading on Ghana Web, or captured on Ghana Web, a member of the legendary Morgan Heritage, Mojo, had argued that on the new version of Stereotype, Sarkodie honored the memory of the iconic Bob Marley. The comments made on 3 Music Culture Daily Show Wednesday morning, March 8, 2023, flies in the face of that of local pundits who vehemently argued that Sarkodie desecrated the said song and the legacy of Bob Marley. What makes it a genre, in this instance reggae, sacred, Mojo quizzed. In a series of rhetorical questions, he underscored why artists cross borders of genre, land, and eras to collaborate. How do you make what's old new again? He first asked. How do we introduce a new generation to an old genre or artist? He went on. Like you guys grew up on our Morgan Heritage music. How did that happen? Because your parents were listening to it. I think these types of collaborations make what's old new again, he said. But it also makes sure that we, as the next generation, don't forget the road that was paved for us. He insinuated that the aforementioned commemoration and memorialization cannot happen if younger generations are not allowed to musically and creatively interact with their predecessors. Mojo added that younger generations of music pay respect to the older generation by way of collaborations. So now, imagine, say, reggae is so sacred that it cannot be touched or even reimagined the way Sarkodie did on that song. It's just a form of homage and it shouldn't be looked at as anything else, he pressed. He argued that if anyone says differently, they are simply looking to stir up trouble for attention. Anything beyond that is just we are looking for a headline, he categorically noted. I am sorry. Appearing on the interview without Grams and Peter, Mojo was proud to admit that the Grammy winner Morgan heritage is famed not just for reggae music, but cross-genre fusion music. And this is captured on Ghana Web. I want to seek my big man's opinion on what Mojo has to say about Sarkodie's Stir It Up remake with the legendary Bob Marley. To him, he doesn't see it as a desecration.
I love the name Mojo because when I hear the name Mojo, something else comes to mind.
What?
Yeah, like someone can tell you, don't lose your mojo, you know, that kind of vibe.
Don't lose your gidigba.
Exactly. So anytime I hear the name, I ask myself, is it that Mojo or there's another Mojo or his Mojo has some other meaning somewhere? Meaning. Maybe another day I would find time and do that research, whether his Mojo means the gidigba or the kind of feeling everybody needs. I watched the full interview, as a matter of fact. Wow. Yes, I watched the full interview whilst he was there. And let me say, I love his, I love the way he speaks.
You love his attitude,
yeah,
his character.
Style, yeah. Like, I love so many things about him. I have known Grams more than him.
Okay.
I didn't know much about him, as a matter of fact. Well, maybe because I'm not a fan of the Morgan Heritage Group.
Fan, yeah.
But Grams has been in my face more than Mojo Morgan. And I want to still believe that it is because he has been doing what he's been doing and it looks good. And I want to believe that whatever he came here to do, he is on point. He came here to announce their next album. Being expected to come out in April, and it looked good. That everything that he said on the interview told me that this is someone who is a real musician.
Wow.
They are not doing music for fun. They are not doing music because someone else is doing it. They understand the business of music. Like, he said so many interesting things. So many interesting things. I recall them one after the other. One of the things I captured was the fact that he said he's not social media freak. So to keep his social media active, he's employed the services of his children.
Wow.
And they are handling his TikTok. And I said, yeah. This guy understands it so much. He understands the generational gap, and he still sees the importance of making himself useful or relevant in that on that platform. But because he can't do it, like, this is a family business.
Of course.
So maybe another Morgan heritage after that particular one. So it's really good. Now back to the issue he talked about. I'm sure many people seeing this story will make a sharp reference to Blakk Rasta's comment.
Definitely.
I know. So many people who see this story, the first thing that will come to their mind will be what Blakk Rasta said, because he said Sarkodie honored Bob Marley. He did not desecrate, stir it up. And so far, the only person in the history of the world who has said Sarkodie desecrated the song was Blakk Rasta.
Blakk Rasta.
Exactly. Blakk Rasta is the only person
Ghana's
who
biggest
has said
reggae
it.
crusader.
But what it means is that Mojo Morgan, sees everything Sarkodie did with Bob Marley differently from Blakk Rasta. And for information, Mojo is also Blakk Rasta's guy. I'm sure when he came to Ghana, one of the first interviews he attended was Blakk Rasta's interview.
Blakk Rasta's.
Yeah, I think I saw a flyer, something like that.
Okay.
And I'm looking at the two of them. Their knowledge, their understanding of music, and the way their worlds apart with this particular.
But they seem to be in the same field, or
they are in the same genre
of music.
But like, look at where they are. This one is saying this, and this one is saying that. First of all, it doesn't make what Blakk Rasta says stupid, because I'm sure someone will say, the wise person has spoken. I know how people think. Because they don't agree with Blakk Rasta, they would assume that Mojo Morgan is who is speaking sense. So it doesn't mean that Blakk Rasta, who said Bob Marley's song has been desecrated by Sarkodie, is speaking nonsense. No, that doesn't mean like that.
So what does
now,
it mean?
he made some points, and I want us to pay attention to those points. First, he said that, but it also makes sure that we as the next generation don't forget the road that was paved for us.
By our predecessors.
By our predecessors. First, I am sure every person who understands reggae and would want reggae to be sustained, would want reggae to be relevant, would want this kind of collaborations to go on. Do you know why? The person would want these kind of collaborations to go on because, one, today's generation is not a reggae freak generation.
Okay.
Today's generation is not that generation who are waiting for someone to sing some songs of oppression and
slavery.
No. We don't even know that those things. We don't know apartheid and like we don't know. So today's generation, if you come singing about oppression, apartheid, and slavery, and you start singing, you can sing your intestines out, they will still not appreciate what you are doing. So the person who would want the sustenance of reggae to continue would want the new generation to have something to do with the genre. And the more they do that, it keeps the sustenance of the genre. And I'm sure in all he was saying, that was what he wanted to tell us.
Of course.
That, say, imagine reggae is so sacred that it cannot be touched or reimagined the way Sarkodie did it. It is just a form of homage, and it shouldn't be looked at. It shouldn't be looked at as anything else. And he is talking about paying homage to the people who started before us. Sarkodie is a musician. We might not even know Sarkodie's interest in reggae music.
Sure.
I'm not sure he is a reggae fan. Because I've been following him, and if I follow his stories and other things that he has been posting, I have not seen him post anything reggae.
It's about rap and
hip-hop. Anytime I've seen Sarkodie post something on his Insta story, it is hip-hop related. But now, I want to believe that after he was given that opportunity to do that thing with Bob Marley, even before he would pen, he would take some time to listen to Bob Marley songs.
To put himself
exactly
in that
to be in that same path that Bob Marley has been charting over the years. And I'm sure fans of Sarkodie who also listen to his contribution on that song can now say, okay, so who is Bob Marley? Especially to those who don't know.
Who don't know him.
And nobody should be surprised that I'm saying someone will be asking who is Bob Marley. Yes.
Oh yeah, it is true.
Yes.
That's that one there.
Of course. If you're not born from the 80s, 70s, 60s, how would you appreciate like Bob Marley?
Or even if your people or your parents or the people around you are not reggae freaks,
you would not.
Or reggae lovers.
You would not. Some of us, we lived at blue kiosk bars around, so we listened to all sorts of songs.
Cassettes.
We listened to all sorts of songs from High Life, Zooks, reggae,
Calypso,
everything song. Because and you know a boss is no be a petition bana ye bomwa and they play songs back to back. So me, I think that what he has said brings a different that we shouldn't see what Sarkodie did with Bob Marley as a desecration, but rather we should see it as a sustenance of a genre. How we can move from that generation to today's generation, and we will still remember the importance or relevance of reggae. And he made so much sense. But I don't want anybody to take this particular point to go and denigrate Blakk Rasta. To make it look like, you did not say anything useful. Listen to Mojo Morgan. He is speaking wisdom. No. These are perspectives.
Okay.
The perspective of Blakk Rasta won't be the same as the perspective of Mojo. And let me tell you why it will be like that. Mojo has lived in America.
Okay.
And because of the understanding of music, they have tasted different types of genres. Sometimes they are doing R&B.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are doing a little bit of soca. Sometimes, like, they do everything in what they are now. They are even telling you they are doing what? Fusion.
Oh, yes, Afro fusion.
Exactly. They are doing reggae fusion. Something like that. So such a person who understands that, oh, I can even fuse R&B to reggae. Such a person who understands that, oh, I can fuse maybe Afro beats to reggae. Will such a person see this as a desecration? Because no, he has seen the need to even do the change already. He has seen the need to add up already. But maybe Blakk Rasta is being too rigid. He thinks that, okay, it is like this, don't touch it. You know, and Blakk Rasta is like that person, like it's a pure Pan-Africanism. Someone who is a Pan-Africanist wouldn't want you to touch their culture, wouldn't want you to touch their things. So he would come with that mindset. But for Mojo Morgan, who has been tasting, he has been tasting generous.
So many.
He has been tasting. That is his life. So yes, I love his point. It doesn't mean Blakk Rasta spoke any evil against Sarkodie. It was his perspective. Let's take it as such. And if you take it as such, nobody will have a problem with any of them.
That is from my big man. This brings us to another exciting edition of Sammy Flex Speaks. My name is Roland Amate. Big thanks to Currency and Richie Flex. Like I said, the comment section is for you. Maybe you agree with him, perhaps not. Let us hear from you. But don't forget to follow the YouTube community guidelines. They are very, very important. So they don't take off your comments or whatever you want to say. Stay safe. We'll meet on the next episode. Bye.